City at eye level is about the whole experience of the pedestrian in the public space. We make a distinction between public space and the public realm. City administrations tend to focus on the horizontal surface, the street surface, and how the pavement looks like. But of course, as human beings, we experience the whole of the public realm. The public realm is what we experience, and then also the facades, and mostly the lower part of the facades, are a very important part of that. And that's what we call the plinth. The plinth is the ground level of the buildings, and it's the most important part for the experience of the public realm. A building can be very ugly, but if it has very lively, very good plinths, then the experience of the street can still be wonderful. And a building can be beautiful, but if it has a dead ground floor, then the experience can be terrible. Why are good plinths not inherent? Because we see a lot of bad plinths, actually. And it's something that perhaps was not part of architecture in the post-war period, in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s and in the 80s. But unfortunately also in the modern period we see a lot of bad plinths. We're standing here right in the city center of Amsterdam. Over there is where the pedestrians are, and there's a clear cut over there where the pedestrian flow really bends away. And that's partially because of this building here, which always intrigues us. This is the Film Academy in Amsterdam. And this is a facade on a square to the south, and there's no door whatsoever. Just imagine if we would have one door here in the building, and we could have a nice cafe, we could have a terrace here, and how different the place would be, and what it would do for the pedestrian flows through the area. So if we analyze great streets, warm streets, one of the secrets behind them is that for pedestrians they have a lot of reasons to visit them, to go in and outside of buildings, and a lot of them in a row. A great street like the Haarlemmerdijk has a door with a public function, a shop or a cafe every 4 to 5 meters. That's really high density. But even if you analyze the great streets like the Paseo de Gracia in Barcelona or the Champs-Élysées in Paris, they get an average of at least every 20 meters. There's a new function, a new reason for somebody to go in and outside of the building, a new reason for somebody to visit. This is an example of the opposite. A big office building of 200 meters, and in these 200 meters there's just one door. One exit where people go in and go out, and also offices are not the most busy places attracting pedestrians. So how different would this be if you would intervene in the physical structure of this building and not have the blind facade over there, but would have the same office building but then with units on the street, and each unit would have a door. What you see what happens now with a single door is that the owner is happy if he rents out 90% of the building, and is even prepared to leave out the ground floor, or just the user puts the archives here or puts meeting rooms with blind facades here, and it's killing the street. One of the streets we've recently worked on with Stipo is in the city at eye level is the Weesperstraat in Amsterdam. It's a street which is at the moment in which the cars are very dominant, and the noise that cars produce. But the solution to create a better street is not necessarily to take the cars out, because we have many examples in the world with a lot of car traffic and which are still also good pedestrian streets. The solution lies more in good plinths, good ground floors and uses, and that's a matter of better design, but also better buildings, of course better public space, but also better management of the plinths. The Weesperstraat is a street with a lot of potential because it cuts right through the historic canal zone of Amsterdam, and the canals are really warm, beautiful places. So the key question here is how to get more of that atmosphere to the Weesperstraat itself. We're standing here in front of an office building which is one of the buildings with more potential, because already this office building has lots of single units on the street side. So not only the office door, but also the units have separate doors. Only what we see here is that good plinths is not only a matter of good design, but also a matter of good management, because I guess you could have better functions in the plinth than these ones. Getting more public functions in, also public functions that have an open relation with the street also at night, would really help to improve the quality of the street, because this is a street where we've done lots of street interviews, and many of the women we interviewed, for instance, said, well, at night this is a street I avoid, because then it's dark, the facades are closed, and I don't feel at home. So creating a better street is about having a long-term vision and building it with the city and the property owners and the users of the street, the renters. But it's also about finding quick wins to make the first changes fast and build the trust that you can actually change the street.